Alright, so in this video, I will be going over the 6 exponent laws. There are 6 laws for powers with integer exponents, and these exponent laws are useful for simplifying expressions involving powers, and you'll need them later on for the rest of exponential functions. So there are 6 laws. Let's start off with the power law. This law states that when you're multiplying two exponents with the same base, it's the same thing as keeping the base and just adding these exponents. So for example, 2 to the power of 4 times 2 to the power of 3 equals 2 to the power of 4 plus 3 equals 2 to the power of 7. The next law is the quotient law, which states that when you're dividing two exponents with the same base, it's the same thing as just subtracting the exponents and keeping the base. So for example, 2 to the power of 4 divided by 2 to the power of 2 is the same thing as 2 to the power of 4 minus 2, which is the same thing as 2 squared. The next law is the power of a power law, which states that when you have an exponent and then you raise that to another exponent, it's the same thing as multiplying the two exponents. So for example, 2 to the power of 4 to the power of 3 is the same thing as 2 to the power of 4 times 3, which is the same thing as 2 to the power of 12. The next law is the power of a product law, which states that when you have two integers in a bracket and you raise both those by an exponent, you have to distribute that exponent to both terms. So for example, ab to the power of n is the same thing as a to the power of n times b to the power of n. So for example, 2 times 3 to the power of 3 is the same thing as 2 cubed, 3 cubed, and these are both multiplied. Next, we have the zero exponent law, which states that any base raised to the power of 0 that isn't a base of 0 will always equal to 1. So b to the power of 0 equals 1 with the restriction that b can't equal 0. So for example, if we took 196 and raised that to the power of 0, that's a bad 6. 196 to the power of 0, that will equal 1. And finally, we have the negative exponent law, which states that when you have a power raised to a negative exponent, you take the quotient of the base and then raise that to the positive exponent. So b to the power negative n becomes 1 over b to the power of n. So let's say 4 to the power of negative 2, that's the same thing as 1 over 4 to the power of 2. And yeah, those are all the exponent laws. Thank you for watching.